So question number 4, how is life after healing when you have lived with this most of your life? And the this that you're referencing, I believe, is feeling the pain and feeling scared.
And I think probably trauma, if I can, risk to kind of read between the lines, because I think that when people are recovering from pain, and we're talking about small T trauma or big T trauma, but just kind of feeling like events have happened in life that has made you feel other than the way that you would like to feel.
Yeah, and that have had a really significant impact on your life and your sense of self. So,
Yeah.
so what does life feel like after healing?
Do you want to start or should I?
Whew. Yeah, so my brain goes in a couple of different directions, but I think the one that pulls me the strongest is there is a sense of internal peacefulness that goes on. And that doesn't mean, like we were just talking about, that life is always peaceful, because by no means is life peaceful. But in spite of the stressors and the chaos and the commotion happening outside of you, I think life after healing is really felt vis-a-vis peacefulness inside of you.
Yeah. So we had a little bit of a dialogue about this prior to starting the video cast. And again, people can kind of come to this place of needing to heal for all sorts of different reasons. But when I've worked with clients that have had, especially like chronic trauma, there is that sense of inner, like, agitation, like you are prepared, for the next horrible thing to happen to you in life, and whether that is something like an assault or someone screaming at you, or life being betrayal, or life being fine and then going away. I mean, a lot of times if you grew up with an alcoholic parent, you are always on the lookout for, is tonight going to be okay? And even if tonight is okay, you're like ready for it not to be, right? So there's this constant internal agitation, dread, vigilance, anxiety that almost becomes normal. And especially if you've had this from a very young age, a lot of clients, they don't even know what it feels like. Like when they arrive at this calm inside, they're like it's weird. It's kind of like this is a description that I will oftentimes use. When there's like a loud noise that just is ongoing and ongoing and ongoing, and it's very annoying, but you get used to it after a while, and so used to it that you no longer hear it, and then all of a sudden it's off. And then that newness, like that silence, is kind of the new, like, what's wrong? Like, what just happened?
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. So there's like this calm, this peacefulness. It's a different experience of being within yourself, that is eventually glorious, but it is just kind of this new experience.
Yeah, it can feel very strange. It's funny you use that example of sound. I demonstrated that a while ago in my office. So for those of you who come to a new beginning, or maybe you see another provider, oftentimes we use sound machines in our offices for white noise, just to muffle any external sound so it doesn't interfere with the session. And I have mine on all the time, and I have a wonderful client I've been seeing for a long time. She had no idea that it was on. She just never noticed it because it's just such a part of the atmosphere. And so we were talking about this exact concept, and I said, just hang on a second. So I got up and I turned it off, and she looked at me like, what was that? I've never noticed that sound. She goes, it's so quiet now. I never noticed there was a sound before. And it was that stark moment of, wow, this is different. And then relaxing into, that peacefulness, that silence feels really good.
Yeah.
But it was a transition.
Yeah. So similar to what you're saying, there is a experience, a knowing, and a trust of safety. Okay. So there is just a security that you experience, and ultimately the security is within yourself, right? Because you've been able to work through things. Hopefully part of that healing has been that you've become that adult parent to yourself that can and does, respond to you and protect you and, use your voice. And so there is this wonderful feeling of of safety and security. And when you walk around life with a sense of safety and security, it's a whole different experience. We were talking about like that exhaustion that happens when you're not living from your real self. It's just an easier way of just walking about your day, right? It's just not this, it kind of is like akin to like that core internal self-confidence, like where you walk straighter because you know that you've got that core inside. It's the same experience of safety. Like whatever does happen, if something happens, I am going to be able to handle it. And there's a calm and a security that's part of that. And it's just glorious.
Yeah.
It's really, really
I was
nice.
just going to circle back to that it really is, I mean, to kind of come back to our first question, it is this change in how you see yourself relative to the world. You go from, life before healing, where there's trauma and pain, and this belief that I can't handle it, right? Through the healing process, you learn I can handle it. So the locus of control isn't in your environment. It's not in how people treat you or in what happens or how people respond to you. It's in how you trust within yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way, that you can keep yourself safe, you can manage tough situations. And that's where the healing is at, and that's where the peacefulness is at.
Yeah. I got another one. You laugh.
Aww.
You will experience laughter that starts from your core and just kind of comes out. And it will almost surprise you. Like, what is that? I'm happy, right? This beautiful sense of, life isn't just, bogged down in this darkness. There is a levity and just a beauty and enjoyment, okay, a goodness that will be a whole new experience. Yeah. Oh, you liked that one.
I did.
It's really, really nice.
We got a nice comment. Well, we have a couple of comments. The Me Too came in. I'm not sure where that is. I think it was in reading the book together. So maybe we have another wonderful member who's reading the book. And then another comment, great question. I need to ask myself, I think relative to, are you living
from your real self? Yep.
And then, wow, that sounds great. Thank you.
Okay.
And it is great.
And this is just an illustration of how one person's question helps another person. I mean, it definitely gives us prompts to be able to give education that's going to be relevant. But look at how you help each other, which is just absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
And that is part of healing, is knowing you're not alone. You're not the only one who's going through this. We're all in this together, figuring out this crazy thing we call life.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you, everybody, for asking such wonderful questions. Thank you for being in this group and for trusting us with yourselves. We love our Wednesdays.
We do.
It's like everyone's in our office and we're all together, and it's really, really very beautiful. So thank you so much.
Yeah.